This is an average tech starting salary in 1996, and this is a starting salary in 2026. In 1996, less than 1% of Indians could even dream of this number. Back then, a good job meant basic stability. Today, while salaries have multiplied, everything else has completely changed. 30 years ago, the math was simple. To build a world-class career, you had to leave India. Today, you're standing at a crossroads looking at two fiercely competitive job markets. Down one path, you have a global career. You are among a million Indian students heading abroad looking to earn and spend in dollars, live in world-class cities, and get that real work-life balance. Down the other path, the Indian job market is also competitive now. You ride the wave of a growing economy and climb a competitive career ladder without the burden of foreign debt. It's the ultimate generational dilemma. And to figure out how to win at the current workforce, you can't just look at the present. You have to understand how things changed over 30 years. In this video, we track the evolution of jobs over 3 decades from 1996 to 2026. And by breaking this down into 3 eras, we answered 2 massive questions. First, how did we go from a time when leaving the country was a clear winning path to a reality where staying home could also be an equally powerful choice? And second, if you're actually making this career choice today, what's your next best move? Welcome to Level 1. The year is 1996 and India is in the middle of a massive identity shift. McDonald's has just opened its first ever outlet in India and people are queuing up to taste the first Maharaja Mac. There were no massive IT parks yet, and it was a highly exclusive club where you fight for a handful of seats in a few top companies. Imagine you are Raj. You're 25 and just graduated from a good engineering college in India. You've done everything right and you've been placed at a massive MNC in Bangalore, earning 2.5 lakhs a year. By 1996 standards, you've made it. You have the stability, the respect, and the MNC tag. But as you sit at your heavy wooden desk, listening to the whir of the ceiling fan, you realize something. Stability isn't the same as speed. You have a mental checklist of dreams. You want to fund your younger sister's education, you want to build a proper house for your parents, and you need to save up for your own marriage. On your current salary, you're looking at decades of slow, linear savings just to reach the starting line of the life you want. Then the world shifts. The internet explodes and Silicon Valley suddenly hits a talent vacuum. They need fixers, builders, and innovators for the world. Your boss calls you into the office and gives you an offer that changes your life overnight. They want to send you to America. They'll sponsor your H-1B visa, pay for your flights, and even cover your first month's stay in California. Your total investment to change your life? 0 rupees. Now, what happened to Raj in 1996 is almost impossible to imagine today. Think about it. You weren't applying to universities, you weren't writing SOPs, you weren't even taking 70 lakh loans. 3 months later, you touch down in California and it feels like you fast forwarded a decade into the future. You're earning $60,000 a year, and in 1996, that's roughly 21 lakhs, which is 10 times the salary you were earning in India. Your ROI isn't a calculation, it's a celebration. Back home, while your batchmates are still saving up to buy scooters, you are able to send back enough money to transform your entire family's life. Fast forward 5 years, you have funded your own wedding and got your wife to the US. Your sister has graduated debt-free. Your parents are living in the house you built for them. In Level 1, you didn't choose the game chose you. But by the early 2000s, the world had seen what happened with Raj's generation. They saw the Silicon Valley crorepati's coming back to India for weddings, bearing gifts of gold and electronics. The secret was out. Welcome to Level 2. The year is 2006 and India is in a fever dream of growth. Jack Dorsey just posted the first tweet in history, and in India, the Sensex has crossed the 10,000 mark for the first time. But while the economy is booming, the path abroad has fundamentally changed. To navigate this new era, you have to adopt a completely different strategy. So let's step into the life of Priya. You're 21 and you've just finished your engineering degree in Pune. You have a campus placement offer in your hand for 4 lakhs a year. To your parents, this is a solid start. But then you realize something. The path to the top in India is crowded and it's very slow. Your ambitions go much higher than a comfortable, safe salary. Your ultimate goal is to become a CEO, and you know that staying in your hometown won't give you that acceleration. So you decide to leave. You are part of a massive new wave of over 1.4 lakh Indian students leaving every year. But you realize that the US is too risky right now. So you pivot, you look at Australia. But here's the reality. There's no YouTube, no Instagram reels or vlogs to help you prepare. So now you're spending your weekends speaking to a friend of a friend who knows someone in Sydney, trying to piece the puzzle together. To build this bridge, you have to pay for it yourself. So your father decides to take an 18 lakh loan for your education, and it's a terrifying amount of money. Nearly 5 times your annual salary. But you've done your research. You were strategically picking a master's degree in accounting because it guarantees you a PR. So now you enter the international student grind. To survive, you work 20 hours a week in a suburban cafe. Picture your weekends where you're balancing heavy trays of coffees for strangers, mopping floors at 11 p.m., and then taking the night bus back home to read your accounting textbooks. You're learning the kind of brutal grit your batchmates back home will never experience. And look at the outcome. By 2011, while an entry-level CA in Delhi is earning 6 lakhs, you land a job as a junior tax accountant in Melbourne, and your starting salary? 65,000 Australian dollars. At the time, that was nearly 27 lakhs. You live frugally, and every extra cent you earn goes straight back to the bank in Delhi. It takes you 4 years of disciplined saving, but you clear the family debt. Fast forward to 2014 and you've achieved the one thing Raj's generation could not buy with a company visa: permanent residency. And by 2016, you achieve your real dream. You open your own accounting firm in Sydney. You finally become the CEO you always wanted to be. In level 2, you didn't just play the game, you mastered the process. But today, that bridge is incredibly crowded, and those old cheat codes, they just don't work anymore. Welcome to level 3. The year is 2026 and the scale is staggering. Nearly 1.3 million Indian students are heading abroad every single year. But as you look at the map, you realize the old safe bets are failing. Imagine you're Arjun. Your lifestyle dream is fueled by everything you see on social media. You want that European work-life balance, the clean air, and the global travel. But you're facing a dilemma that Raj and Priya never had to consider. The financial gap between staying and leaving India has completely changed. You realize that a basic MBA or a computer science degree is not a guaranteed upgrade. So now you have to be a highly specialized specialist. You pivot away from traditional routes and choose a master's in marketing analytics in Germany. You choose it because it's calculated. The tuition is almost zero. Still, you're taking a 20 lakh loan just for living costs and prep. Now, because of the internet, the first part of your journey is a breeze. The actual move and settling in Germany is surprisingly straightforward. You watched 100 YouTube vlogs before you even packed your bags. And before your flight lands in Germany, you already have 3 apartments shortlisted. You know exactly which local grocery store is the cheapest, how the train systems work, what your campus looks like, and even which techno club is the best for Friday nights. Life opens up in beautiful, unexpected ways. You get a part-time job analyzing data for a local clean tech startup, earning enough to live comfortably. You build an international circle of friends. You are so dialed in that within a month of moving, you start recording your own day in the life vlogs to guide the next batch of students. You feel completely integrated. You're breathing clean air, walking safely at 2 a.m. and living exactly the dream life you mapped out on your vision board. Then graduation hits. Your 18-month job seeker visa activates and the countdown clock begins. You step into the brutal reality of the 2026 job market. The European economy is stalling and the companies are pulling back on hiring international students. Month 1 passes, then month 2, and by the 3rd month, you've applied to over 200 companies, but your inbox is just a graveyard of polite, automated rejection emails. The anxiety turns into deep confusion. 6 months, many almosts, and a million rejections later, it finally happens. You land your first full-time job as an associate analyst at a leading marketing firm. Everything finally paid off. Now, let's think of a different story. Imagine you made the hard choice to come back to India. You land in Mumbai, and at first, it feels like a massive defeat. But then, something interesting happens. You update your LinkedIn with your highly specialized German master's degree, Within a month, you land a consultant role at a massive food delivery startup. The degree worked, and it gave you the exact leverage you needed. In fact, you're earning way more than your other colleagues who stayed back in India and went to tier 2 colleges. Financially, the gamble paid off. But the reality is, this is not what you wanted. You look out your window and you see a gridlock. You've tasted the European 9 to 5 culture, the weekend hikes, and the open mic nights. Staying in India offers aggressive career growth and the comfort of family. But there are obvious downsides. And this is the absolute core of the modern wealth game. For 30 years, the math was simple. Go abroad to grow faster and stay in India to play it safe. But today, both paths are incredibly valid, but the trade-offs look very different. For example, imagine if Arjun would have done a master's in sustainability or a PhD in philosophy. There are barely enough opportunities in India, and so it becomes obvious that you have to go abroad. And going abroad still has one massive advantage: time. The amount of money you can make by going abroad in just a few years will take you 5 to 10 years of grinding back home. So if you want to play level 3 today, you have to be incredibly calculated. Do your research and specialize in skills that there is an actual shortage of. Every generation played a different version of this game. Raj won because he was early. He had an empty field, but he had to navigate it all alone. Priya won through discipline. She had proven roadmaps to follow, but she had to fight her way across a heavily crowded bridge. And for Arjun's generation, winning requires intense strategy. So this leaves you with a huge lingering question. If both paths have their own pros and cons, what is the right move today? And that is the true state of the India versus abroad debate today. It's not about having a one right answer or a country that's objectively better for everyone. It's simply about choosing a country that's perfect for your personal goals and not following a crowd. The board is set and the rules have changed. Define your strategy and make big moves. Comment down below what you think is the best plan for you, staying in India or going abroad. We'll see you in the next one.